The sad story of Edson Richtefitt. As a kid, he got forced to work in the transit farms. One day, Nicholas kidnapped him and put him in zombie military. He grows up and is infected by a zombie, so Nicholas shoots its chest. His brother Michael revived him 50 years later because a zombie virus. Later, brothers Takeo and Dempsey are funded, so they work together to save USA from outbreak. Who is next? Listen to me.
What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite. Starting off the week with a strong video here for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about the brand new Toten teaser, the story implications of this, and even some upcoming DLC 3 marketing. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because about 65% of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed. So make sure you guys get notifications every time I update you on Black Ops Cold War, if you're interested, of course. But first and foremost, Treyarch confirmed earlier today an extended 4-day double XP weekend, which does include double weapon XP for Black Ops Cold War and Warzone, running this Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific until Tuesday, July 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific. Take advantage of that while you guys can, if you're still going for Dark Ether or even Dark Matter. And it's 4th of July weekend, of course, but if you're not doing anything or you're not in the US, then here you have it, some XP bonuses for both of those games there. Now, this past weekend was kind of crazy. I wanted to do a live stream this past Sunday, but there was a tornado warning in Chicago with some pretty severe weather, so I didn't trust my internet with that whatsoever, and I didn't get to announce the giveaway winner for my free Season 4 Battle Pass, but the winner is somebody by the name of Username and Password. Yes, that is his YouTube account name, as you can see on screen. Congratulations to you, my friend, and go ahead and comment below on this video with your Activision ID or somewhere I can contact you so we can exchange that information. I'll give you the Season 4 Battle Pass as soon as possible. But don't you guys worry, if you want another giveaway, I will be doing a live stream this Wednesday where I'll be giving away a bundle of the winner's choice. That could even be a Battle Pass if you guys so please, but go ahead and comment a zombie emoji down below in the comments to enter this giveaway, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. But here's the thing, right? We could be getting a zombies focused week in terms of content on my channel, since Treyarch confirmed earlier today we are going to get more marketing for Toten later this week, which we'll talk more about later in this video. But I want to do a stream this Wednesday where I unlock Dark Ether live over in Zombies. I'm very close to that by now, and I also want to do all 4 Zombies quests in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, right? It'll be D Machina, Firebase, and both Outbreak quests. Should be a ton of fun. If you're interested in joining that, and if you're a Zombies extraordinaire or a Zombies fanatic and you want to join, then also let me know down below in the comments. But first and foremost, we have a new blog post from Call of Duty today where they went ahead and confirmed after last week's Collateral Strike 24/7 playlist, players can jump into Collateral Combined Arms 24/7 this week to experience vehicle-fueled 12v12 action on Black Ops Cold War's newest Combined Arms map, which is of course Collateral. In addition, Treyarch is delivering an updated throwback Mosh Pit collection this week, featuring a mix of intense 6v6 respawn modes on these Black Ops Cold War classic maps, Nuketown 84, Raid, Express, Standoff, and even Hijacked. Also this week, Sharpshooter trios can jump into Gunfight 3v3 snipers in the featured playlist. Not too bad, but here's what they said at the bottom, right? Be on the lookout for new Zombies teasers on Treyarch social media channels this week as we get closer to the mid-season's release of Toten, the terrifying new chapter in the Dark Ether storyline. So I'm sure in next week's little blog post or the week after that, we'll get to know exactly how close we are to Season 4 Reloaded. We don't have an exact release date right now, but I think the estimated guess is July 15th or July 22nd. Those seem like a good midpoint of the season, and it's like I said before, right? Season 5 and 6 for this game probably won't be that long, just so they don't bleed too much into Vanguard's release date. However, it is worth remembering that Modern Warfare Season 6 got extended until December the 7th because Season 1 of Cold War was supposed to start 48 hours after that on December the 9th. That, of course, didn't happen. Cold War Season 1 got delayed until December the 16th. But here's the thing, right? There's a rumor regarding World War II Vanguard's Warzone map launching at release of Sledgehammer's new game, so that would mean Season 1 would probably start right away when that game drops. That could, of course, change. But if that's the case, right, and a Season 6 extends past the release of Sledgehammer's new game, then Cold War could still get content as late as early December. That would be great, and could still leave some room for potential remakes and other Zombies content here in Black Ops Cold War. So I also want to remind you guys of exactly when marketing began for Firebase Z. So first off, on December 31st, this is crazy, they dropped the first teaser for Tombstone, the featured perk, and the new perk, I should say, over in Firebase Z. Firebase Z didn't release until February the 4th. That's over a month in between the marketing there. So on January the 12th, though, we got our first teaser image of Firebase Z. So I guess you could say that's more of a teaser for the map than Tombstone. So January 12th to February 4th, that's a solid 3+ weeks in between. So looking at teaser we got today for Martyr Toten, this could mean that the map does drop on July the 22nd, a good 3 weeks away. But you know what? Let's have some hope here and say it'll drop a little bit sooner than that. But I think people need to remember that we're at the Gurad Krovi stage of Black Ops Cold War's life cycle, but that's not a bad thing, right? Although we're at DLC 3 already, which still makes sense. DLC 3 is typically released some point, you know, early to midsummer. Since we're at that point, it's not the end of the world, right? A DLC 4 is still going to happen at some point in late September, according to insider Tom Henderson, and that doesn't rule out the possibility of seeing maybe 3 more remakes added to Black Ops Cold War before the release of Vanguard. But they could, of course, pull a Black Ops 3 and release some remade Zombies content for this game, even when Sledgehammer's next game is the primary Call of Duty. One of those things could happen, but like I stressed a lot, Activision doesn't seem to be interested in doing a year 2 for Call of Duty's at this point, since even as successful as Modern Warfare was, they didn't drop much content in the game when Cold War released. But things could change. If Vanguard doesn't do that well, I would not be surprised to see Activision say, you know what, let's add some more content to Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War to keep the momentum going until Infinity War's next title in 2022, which is going to be a Modern Warfare sequel. But today Treyarch posted the following: who will prevail when worlds collide, hashtag Martyr Toten, and it's a newspaper of Berlin here, and the post-it note says, cover story is working, Requiem asset is in place. But at the bottom, we see some text here that says, West Berlin, an explosion linked to a nerve gas stockpile has officials from both sides of the city urging residents to stay clear of, and then the rest is blank. And we got a nice glimpse there of the city of Berlin. Explosion at checkpoint, chemical gas leak, quarantine in effect. So what I think about when I see this is that this could be the way that they keep this zombie storyline canon to campaign in Warzone, because right now, people out there are in a bit of a debate saying that Treyarch kind of can't keep the stakes high in zombies, that they have to worry about the canon of campaign in Warzone. They can't go too far out, because then it'll be a bit confusing to say, alright, well, campaign and Warzone aren't referencing what's going on in zombies right now, so is it really canon? But this nerve gas could be sort of a Men in Black solution to everything, where it erases people's memories, and it ensures that the news media can't report on whatever is going on, or if they do, people forget about it. I'm not sure how far they're going to pull this, but with the story right now, you know, according to Craig Hewson, according to the intel, there is a lot going on. I mean, there's many threads in the Dark Ether storyline that are slowly weaving together as we enter the DLC 3 era of this game. You know, you have the mystery behind the director, Samantha getting her powers, you have the Accursed one apparently coming out of the Dark Ether, manipulating Valentina to release him over in Berlin. You have so much going on at once, but if Craig can find a way to still make this work with our current canon for campaign and Warzone, then I'm game for that. But if they said, you know what, we're gonna go in a different direction with zombies that isn't held back by other modes of the game, I'm also cool with that. I think either way works, at least for me, but I think at the end of the day, people who are invested in one mode over another don't really care about the crossover and the continuity of the other modes anyway. But you know what, people out there like me who are a fan of all modes, I think I definitely care about making sure that everything makes sense and they don't do anything too crazy in Warzone or too crazy in zombies to where it really does affect, you know, other modes or makes other modes look questionable, you know what I mean? So let's see what happens with the future Dark Ether storyline. But will this tie into Kravchenko and how he ends up in the Middle East during the beginning of Black Ops 2? Absolutely can. I mean, now that we're working for Kravchenko and Omega after the end of Operation Excision, I'm curious how his leadership is going to impact the Accursed one, whether we face him or not, the main Easter egg is going to go. And considering Menendez has been teased quite a bit throughout the campaign and Warzone storyline of Black Ops Cold War right now, imagine how mind-blown the community will be if in Season 6, we get this full roundabout or a full crossover between what is going on in zombies versus what is going on in the era of what I should say is campaign multiplayer Warzone. Menendez gets revealed. I mean, he could be a focus for Season 6 somehow, young Menendez that is, and then all of a sudden whatever happens in zombies weaves into that where Kravchenko once again goes to work for Menendez and goes on a mission for him in the Middle East, as we saw him during the events of Black Ops 2. So that's something to really think about in regards to the ending of this game's life cycle. But now I want to bring something to your attention that you probably missed, and that is a correction to the ending cutscene over in Operation Excision. This was brought to my attention by lad himself, Kaljitsu, over on Twitter, and I had a hunch about this, but the ending cutscene was indeed bugged upon beating that Easter egg because your screen would go black, you wouldn't even get a scoreboard for the match you just played, and I knew that kind of felt off. I was a bit confused about that. I'm like, wait a second, I get the ending was deep, but not even a scoreboard for the match of Outbreak you just played? And what do you know, the correction for this cutscene was added in with a recent patch, and it now says to be continued above your scoreboard board for the game itself. So what's ironic about this is I actually made a video recently talking about how I would hope Maud or Toten pulls a girl out Krovy like another DLC 3 we got, where at the very ending of that Easter egg we get to be continued in blah blah blah, whatever the name of DLC 4 is going to be for this game. And they kind of already did that with Operation Excision, which is great, and it truly feels like the prologue to Maud or Toten as they were talking about in some recent marketing. But now let's talk about the possibility of seeing 3 more remakes added to Black Ops Cold War according to some new rumors. Maybe Transit Diaries and Buried, because those maps apparently have been done and ported from Black Ops 4 to Black Ops Cold War according to other insiders in the community. So that'll leave us with Die Machina, Dead Ops Arcade 3, Firebase Z, Martyr Toten, whatever DLC 4 is. Then we have Outbreak, Onslaught, and 3 remakes. So as a deeper breakdown here, that's 7 round-based maps, including the remakes, with quests, similar to other games. We also have 1 open world experience with 2 main quests here in Black Ops Cold War. It's a lot of content in and of itself, regardless if you like Fireteam or the regions at all. We then have survival on almost all the multiplayer maps in this game. Again, content people were asking for, even in Black Ops 4 with a map like Der Schatten, the town below Der Eisendrache, right? There's maps out there that could work fine as a zombies map, even without a mystery box or a pack-a-punch, but with the mechanics we have in Onslaught, where you get drops of the AATs, pack-a-punch chalices, armor vest, etc. That works fine, and it's replayability, it's more content, which Xbox and PC are about to see on November the 1st. If Vanguard isn't your cup of tea, if you don't play Halo, you don't play Battlefield, then Onslaught will be there for you as quite a bit of content, in my opinion, for other platforms that didn't get to see it this year. And of course we have Dead Ops Arcade 3, a phenomenal mode that is about, I think, 3 hours plus worth of gameplay if you want to go through the entire mode, if not farther. I mean, that's a lot of zombies content for this game, which people out there probably won't appreciate until they see what Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2 have to offer in the next 2 years. Regardless if those games have zombies modes or not, I'm pretty sure people are going to look back at Cold War and say, wow, I really slept through that year. The game really wasn't that bad. I should have gave it a try. And it's like I've always said too, it's like, look, if this isn't enough zombies content for you, I mean, do you only play zombies? Do you not play other games out there? Do you not even play multiplayer or Warzone in Call of Duty at this point? I mean, how much more could they add to this game where they can keep the quality over the quantity and still make people happy? Now, I also want to go over a really important tweet from the lad himself, Eric Maynard, who said something really important earlier today. He said, I'm surprised at all the people that need to hear this, but Dr. Monty, the Shadowman, Primus Ultimus, and Victis are never coming back, and trying to bring them into any Cold War lore discussion is going to derail the conversation, in my opinion. And this is coming from a story fanatic, somebody who truly understands what's going on right now in Black Ops Cold War, and that's fine. You can disagree with this point respectfully in the comments, but let's bring this up, right? He always refers to this statement, which is very important, from a Q&A that Treyarch did after the release of Alpha Omega, where Craig himself, the writer of Black Ops 4 towards the ending and lead writer here of Black Ops Cold War, he mentions that it's the end of the line for Primus, Ultimus, and Victis at the end of Black Ops 4's life cycle, and it was. Now, I was at this statement and I'm like, alright, if he didn't write Victis in there, then it would give away that they have a future in the story at all. So of course he's going to put Victis in there. I always thought there was potential to see something to do with Victis in a Dark Ether-led storyline, since that's where they are right now. But it has been thousands of years in the Dark Ether since they were put in there at the end of Tagger Toten. It's been a long time, so who knows what they are or what they mutated into, or if they died during all that time. That could have happened. And the thing with that statement too is, yeah, for Primus and Ultimus, absolutely, it's over. They're not coming back. I mean, you could see a nod to them maybe in the future, you know, a quick reference or some intel talking about some old heroes. Maybe we'll get that, but I think it's been made very clear, even in other statements too, that Craig does not want to bring the same characters back that he had been writing for many years. He wants to go in a new direction entirely, but that was already tough to do with Chaos, as you guys may know. Regardless of the gameplay on those maps, but story-wise, it was tough to do. Tell a whole new story that has no baggage, that has no ties to Ether at all, but this new story at least does have quite a few ties that have keep people somewhat interested with the intel and whatnot. But I think it's the execution of how the story is told that people are not really following along with. Now, yeah, it is with the roots of zombies, the way the story was told back in the day, with radios, ciphers, and hints and whatnot, but you can't please everybody, right? Doesn't matter what they do, I think, even if they had a cinematic approach to Dark Ether with cutscenes and mid-game events, CGI marketing, and trailers like the memory videos you used to get back in the day, even if they did that, I still don't think people out there would give the story a chance. People out there would still be complaining that, oh, it's not Primus, it's not Ultimus. When you look at Victis as a whole, if they're never coming back, it's like I said before, I'm okay with that. You know, saying they're in the Dark Ether and they died, okay. If we don't get any reference to that in the future, I have to accept that, and I mentioned that many times in the past. But it doesn't mean that their maps can't come back, of course. The remake Remakes could come back in a bit of a different way, Revelation style. It doesn't really need the Victis characters at all. I've said it very clearly, right? I don't see any reality in which we get one-to-one remakes or remasters in Black Ops Cold War of the Victis maps with those characters, or seeing those characters as operators. I don't see that at all. Zero. But if the maps come back, then, you know what? Maybe they'll have a nod or a radio or a reference to them somewhere, confirming their death or confirming that they're boss zombies now or something. So it definitely is difficult when you see Treyarch teasing new characters, but then automatically people are like, oh, is it Eddie? Is it Monty? Is it this? Is it that? And it's like, well, let's take a step back for a second and realize that Eddie has a chance of coming out. That's definitely a possibility with whatever they have planned for the finale of this game. But Monty and the Shadowman got combined back into the one at the end of Tag, but doesn't mean the Accursed one in Martyr Toten or Black Ops Cold War is necessarily that exact same one. The one right now, as we've learned recently, is just an elder god fighting for control, and he's gotten control as of recently. But is that the same one that we're all talking about? Maybe it's not, and we're all wrong. That could be the case. But if it is the Accursed one, then hey, I'm game for that too. It's nice to have a subtle reference to the villains of the previous Ether storyline. But here's another big point, right? With the Accursed one and the way he's acting in Black Ops Cold War right now, he does resemble the Shadowman quite a bit. Even Monty, so to speak. The way they manipulated characters back in the old Ether storyline, that's the vibe I'm getting when the Accursed one is pretending to be Vogel, talking to Valentina, pretending to be her father, just trying to manipulate her into releasing him in Berlin. With all that going on, you know, if it's not the Accursed one that we sealed back together at the end of Tag or Toten, then people out there are going to be very underwhelmed once the reveal ends up happening in this game. And that would be unfortunate, because this build up to the Accursed one, to me, has to be a home run. If it's not, people out there, I just don't think are going to be interested in the story after that. And it's unfortunate, because the writing in this game is so strong. I mean, I'm loving the fact that Kravchenko's so interested in this Accursed one now. He wants to face him himself and go into the Dark Ether. I'm really interested in how that's all going to pan out. But with the Accursed one, I'm like, alright, will this be a Mephistopheles-like boss at the end of Black Ops Cold War's life cycle? Or is this a boss that's going to be a reoccurring antagonist in future titles? Will Eddie's reveal somehow tie into how we deal with the Accursed one? I mean, there's so much that can happen right now, but like the intel has been suggesting, right, there are many elder gods fighting for control, and the Accursed one that manipulating Valentina is the one that's currently getting in control of the Dark Ether. He's leading all the forces in there, so I think there's some huge story implications here that I believe are going to be opened up quite a bit over in DLC 3. We'll be talking more about these updates and marketing in the podcast, of course, as I do every single Friday. Hopefully there's no tornado warnings later this week so I can actually stream properly, fingers crossed. But let me know your thoughts in the comments about the new Martyr Toten teaser, the story implications of this, and even the upcoming DLC 3 marketing that we are expecting. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.